Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan. Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
It is a Friday. I'm not clapping because Braylon Edwards is gone, but I am clapping because Anson's here. But we miss Bray. Braylon Edwards not here today. Back with us on Monday. We're glad you're with us here on Woodward Sports. Sweet Potato, Cam,
SPC in the house.
Kool-Aid, Freddie Felt's in the house.
Yes, he is.
Shout out Freddie
Love to
Felt.
see Freddie. Anson, how are you, my friend? You look like the Fonz today.
I'm a little cold today. Hey.
You're cold today. It's 48
I am. I know.
degrees.
It's ridiculous. It's beautiful out. The sun's out. It's 53. But the girls got the AC cranking today over at Lady Jane's. It is wicked awesome.
Yeah.
And I just
All
haven't
right,
been
Marty
able to get warm
McFly.
today, so I'm doing the Fonz, you know.
You are doing the fun, and you've got a hooded sweatshirt on too.
It's
That should
too
be
bad that
He's in
Fonzie
his Braylon vibe. Yeah,
Henry-
the Braylon vibe. Yeah.
that he was Henry Winkler and not Anson Williams. Potsy.
Oh yeah, got that. All right.
I know all the Ansons. out
Nice
there.
little twist. Nice little. Have you talked to the lovely ladies of Lady Jane's and say, in the words of hey, turn up the radio? How about turn it up a
I'm
little
glad
bit? Would you
KG's
wanna do
not
that?
in here because KG will attest to me battling one specific Lady Jane over that thermometer.
Oh.
So yeah, you don't want to get me started on that one, Shep.
Okay. All right. I'll leave that alone.
Actually, our guy Jesse put a lock on it earlier this year.
Oh, did he really?
For a reason.
Okay.
I noticed that.
When they were down in Florida too, and it was like -2 in here, we're like, man, somebody.
We were here for first of the
somebody
whistle
turn this thing
freezing,
up,
bro.
Please.
Well, who's got the key then? Let's go.
Jesse.
I mean, you're the
It's a
boss.
digital key.
Let's go. Let's get it done, shall we? Come on. With a Friday, that means for a lot of people, it's you're getting ready to party a little bit. You might be ready to kick back and relax a little bit for the weekend and start the weekend off the right way. Watching the Pistons tonight against the Cavaliers.
Oh, yeah.
And having one of
Smack
these bad boys. How about Sam Adams, Cherry Wheat?
Wheat,
Love
our
that,
damn good.
right? Give me, if you can, your top 5 beer chugging moments. So, for example, let me just give you an example. We're going to slam one before the first tee. We've got a euchre party tonight. That means the beer will be flowing. How about tailgating? The first time you show up to the tailgate, it's right? Give me some of, don't have to give me 5, but we're going to go around the room here and get a few beer chugging moments for me.
I'll go first. I do have 5.
Okay.
First one, anytime I'm with Spider, shout out Spydro. He's
Okay. He's your guy.
What do they call that when you got somebody that anytime you're around them, they make you feel like you're going to do or trigger. He's my trigger.
He's your trigger.
Shout out
Okay.
Spydro.
He's your wingman and your trigger at
That's
the same
right.
time. That's not an easy thing to do. All right.
My very first beer bong. I'll never
Uh-oh.
forget it.
Let's not go into those stories. Okay.
Well, then you definitely don't want number 3, which
You
is
got Chef's face lit up.
which is immediately after a line, standing in one, of course. Mm-hmm. And then after working out, because I'm sorry, but there is nothing like getting a beer and a fat blunt to just completely retrograde all of the work you just put in. Like you feel guilty and you feel great at the same time.
Wow.
Love that.
Wow. Okay.
And
Anson must work out with cake in between his sets. You know what? Can I have a cupcake?
Each
You're
sit-up
working
is
out.
a
It
bite of a
doesn't matter.
cupcake.
I only work out where they give free pizza. Let's talk about
Free
that.
buddies. I'm all for it.
That's right.
Bring it
Let's
on.
ride.
And then the other one would be the moment I land in Mexico.
Okay.
You get off of that,
Yeah.
you get out of the airport,
Hot
and
beach.
there's everybody there trying to get you on the bus, trying to do this, send you
Right.
there. Here's a taxi. Well, I know right where that Michelada stand is.
Nice.
Shout
Michelada, man.
Well, that airport's
know,
on fire
you
right
know.
now, so maybe you don't want to go there.
No.
Take your time.
Quintana Roo. No issues over there. It's in the central and to the west. If you want to go, to Q Roo, you're safe.
I'm just kidding. All right, Freddie, give me some Some top beer
There he
drinking
is.
moments. You will be drinking a beer, I assume, tonight while watching the Pistons dismantle the Cleveland
$16
Cavaliers.
beer.
Well, he
Sound
can afford
Freddie
it.
felt.
I mean, come on.
No,
Fire hat.
absolutely. 2 or 3 for sure. I would say first touchdown. That first, not a field goal.
Okay.
Field goals, we clap.
I like that.
First touchdown, though, is an immediate chug.
Amen.
Every
That's a
game.
really good one.
Yeah.
Okay. You got
Keep 'em
another?
coming. That's it.
Okay. One's fine.
now.
Because that was fire. That was well done.
Freddie, did you ever have like a drinking game in school or anything where like every time they say this, you got to drink?
Oh, yeah.
Which
Well-
one?
Well, it's not sports related, but St. Patrick's is coming up.
Yeah.
So my wife and I, we always take the day off. We watch Boondock Saints.
Oh,
And
my
so
God, what a great movie.
So anytime they do a shot in the movie,
Okay.
we do. And there's a scene where I think it's like 2 or 3 they pound. And at that
you're
point,
hammered
we're-
by the end.
And we got Guinness too. So, you know,
Oh,
the
boy.
Guinness is flowing.
So here, you really want to test yourself? We used to do this back in the day. Scarface.
Oh. Now, what
Every
is it?
time he says a certain swear word, now back in the day,
Which one is that, Shep?
It rhymes with puck.
Shep's a professional.
It's a
Yes.
hockey term.
Yes. Do that. We used to rent that movie, and it's 2 cassettes back in the day, VHS.
VHS.
So you're lucky if you get to the second one. Try that with your wife. That will be very interesting.
Speaking of my wife,
That's a drop.
Remiss to not mention this, but I did propose in Ireland at the Guinness Storehouse in
Solid.
Dublin. And
That's a keeper.
that was a beer chug after she said yes, because I had Guinness pints engraved, and it
for
said, "Will
her,
you marry
for
me
her
on the
drinking
pints?"
it or you drinking it?
Oh, for me.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
was gonna
she's
say,
a Smittix girl.
She can't believe she just said yes.
my
She
wife's
said
my
yes.
wife's a Smittix girl. She's not a
Maybe
Guinness
maybe
girl.
your wife drank before she said yes, marrying you. That's a
Hey,
possibility.
come on now.
When you know that the place to propose
Yeah.
is the Guinness factory,
Yeah.
you've got to keep her.
Yeah. In Detroit, it would have been Stroh's.
There you go.
All right, Kool-Aid.
This is a Reed coat made in Detroit.
Okay,
And the story of the Reed coats, the father made him. The son, after he passed away, the son started outsourcing them to China.
Uh-oh.
No one bought them. Moved the business back to Detroit. And Reed leather coats are booming again.
How about that? Where are they located?
Downtown.
Well, can you be more specific?
I
or-
don't.
Okay.
I don't.
All
My,
right.
my buddy taught me about this. He told me that
All
they
right,
got
'cause
the
I gotta
spot
get a
right
new
there.
leather
it's right
coat.
It's right actually near Ford Field is what I'm told.
Okay.
Hey, that one has a hood on it.
It does. It has an inside liner and everything.
We were just talking about that.
I've got to get a new leather coat, and I'm gonna buy it from them. Okay, because I want to
Check out
support.
Reed,
I want to
man.
support
They
the
got
area.
online great stuff.
Okay, check out Reed. Thank you. All right, Kool-Aid, give me the 5 drinking moments, buddy. Because today's a pretty good day. Not just because it's Friday. The sun is out. It's warmer, right? Most of us can do without a coat. And you think that way.
And I'm inside too.
Look, my drinking moments, they involve other people drinking.
Yes.
Naturally, but
That's all right.
you know, the coolest one, I think you could see it in the heavyweights opener, and it was opening day, Detroit Tigers, Woodward Sports, first time down there
That works.
doing a live show, and those boys were going absolutely
The
crazy
heavies.
that it felt like I had a couple in me as well. Like the energy was electric. The people, I didn't even know if they knew us, but I knew that at the end of that night they wanted to get
They
to know us
remembered
because
you.
of those guys.
That's for
I
sure.
love that. That's a
That
good
was
one.
definitely one in and out.
All right.
I noticed a couple times, but Anton pops up in some of these stories. But you know what? They were absolutely gone after the Lions won that playoff game. They were at that when they popped that bottle in here, man. You don't understand. I was in that booth. They had everything going. I had to have the door closed. But him, Stick, Spinny, there were people who came to the studio that weren't even on like the show that night. That night was epic,
Yes,
man.
it was.
Absolutely epic. And then
Very
there's
fun.
some college nights, man, that
Oh.
I won't say any names or anything, but there were some pretty epic house parties and times out with my guys with the hip hop legends. Those guys have no there's no bottom to their drinking.
Amen
so
to that. Yeah.
It's some dope stuff.
And then you get the worm at the bottom of that bottle. How about you?
You know, I'm going to say that first beverage once you land at the beach.
Yep. I like that.
Another one, I played a ton of soccer growing up. Right after an indoor soccer game.
Like after a good workout, I feel you.
Similar to that, yeah. Kind of like a beer league, locker room.
Oh,
brings
that's a
you
good
there.
one. A beer league. Yeah. Okay.
Same kind of deal. It's
Okay.
parallels.
Yep.
Another one, Anton kind of shouted out the michelada.
Oh, yes.
I lived in Texas for 12 years. On a drip sweat day, you come home, you have a nice michelada. Oh, my goodness.
How about
y'all.
this one? After mowing the lawn.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah.
Hit the spot.
Yeah, it does hit a spot,
Yes.
doesn't it?
That's a workout. That's kind of a workout there, Shep.
And let me give you one more. Let me give you two more. Fishing beers. If you're gone fishing, drinking a beer while you're in the boat, that really hits the spot. Now, sometimes it's a little early, but yeah, okay, I'll take that, Ric Flair. And the last one, after you do a dry January, which I have done the last 2 years, if you do a dry January, meaning you don't drink anything during the month of January, February 1, oh, baby, that's going to be flowing. Whether it's in a mug, a glass, out of the bottle, or out of a can, that's going to be flowing after a dry January. What were you going to say, Kool-Aid?
Michael Wary sends in a $5 super chat to say his moments when watching sports, grilling after long days of work between softball games.
Oh, that's a good one. Between
and after
softball
cutting the
games.
got so
grass.
excited.
Shout out to Michael Wary.
Yeah.
He knows, man. That's an experienced beer drinker.
Yep.
You can tell by that super chat right there.
You know, they have a sweet potato beer, Shep.
I did not know that.
They have sweet potato
Why did Cam just
beer,
pop his head?
Cam.
Cam's face on the bottom.
Come on, Cam.
I'll take that with some jalapeno all day,
No
baby.
doubt.
Although we went out last
Sweet
week,
and
last
savory.
Friday, a week ago today, for Braylon's birthday.
You have to make that
Cam
a
was
tradition.
drinking the mixed drink.
This
Braylon-
one?
Yeah.
Oh, you got Cam out. Nice.
Braylon was drinking the old fashioned. Kool-Aid had purple Kool-Aid, and I was the only one. I was the only one drinking a beer.
Purple Source
Yeah,
Rex.
yeah. Anthony
Shout
Braylon
out.
has said that my flavor is grape.
Yeah. Grape, whatever. So somebody had brought up the beer bong earlier. Who was that? Was that you? Okay.
Anthony.
Man, they brought out a whole cardboard box for me. They thought I was going to puke everywhere. I was about 5'3", 96 pounds at the time.
Okay, so this is
I
about what,
took that
last
whole
year?
thing down, no problem. Not last year, Shep, damn it. Sound like Terry over here talking about my 26-inch waist. It's 30 inches.
Another drop. That's probably one of the first things I made at college, is the beer bong.
Oh, yeah.
Went to
How long was it?
Some
Short
All
or long?
Let's be careful.
Another
there.
drop.
Another drop.
Pause.
Went to like an auto parts store, got the funnel, big funnel.
Oh, yeah.
And when they asked me how much did you need, they thought I was talking about an oil change. I said it needs to hold
At least 3 beers.
It needs to hold a Q at least.
Remember
right?
party balls?
Oh, absolutely.
These young
Coors
people don't
party
even
balls
know.
were- oh, they were fantastic.
Shep, I can't leave the studio without asking you. You gave me the moment on the couch here. I appreciate the hospitality.
Absolutely.
Have you ever rocked the hard hat with the double beer with the tubes coming out?
wanted one of those
I
so
can't
bad.
imagine
I have
Shep
not.
just watching a game
I have
with
not.
the 2 tubes.
That's
with the
not
hard hat.
happening.
I
No
always
way.
wanted one of those so
But I
bad
will
as
tell
a
you
kid,
about the
man.
beer bong when I finally put it together. I did them upside down.
Oh, legend.
Cake stand Shep over here, man. I'm
Yep,
telling you.
that was it.
Don't sleep on Shep.
That was it. Listen, when you
He's
go
a
to,
chip.
when you
man.
go-
Remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
you got to go to
yeah.
Central.
Yeah.
You got to go to Central. You
Oh,
do
yeah.
it upside down, man. You can hold that down. That's pretty damn good.
Oh, yeah.
No matter how long you hold it down for.
Those visuals, Shep, I love it.
I know.
yeah.
Shep was a low-key party.
What you got in there, Cam? No.
Pour some out for my homies.
He guess what he had last week with us on a Friday. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, maybe there's too much information, but that's so long ago it doesn't really matter. Listen, I saw something interesting yesterday, and I wanted to ask you guys about this. Baseball players, pitchers are on the mound, catchers are behind the plate, and they have almost like a television ear piece, like you and I have right now, and you get the pitch comp.
One of the two.
I like that. I
Either
like
one.
that.
They're both dead, though.
The most what would you say common, the most common voice that pitchers want, Morgan Freeman,
Okay, well, that should
which
be
makes
right
a
in
lot
there
of
now.
sense too.
He is alive.
He is alive,
He is.
but it's also a very calming effect.
Oh, yeah.
So
Him or Denzel, man.
would you change it when it's a 1-2 count in the bottom of the ninth to give me somebody in the wrestling realm, if you will, along those lines, something like
Yeah.
that?
Jimmy the Heart, man.
Macho Man.
Mouth of the South, baby. Let's go.
Former Cincinnati Reds player, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Okay, we could do that. Michael Buffer, let's get it ready to rumble. Throw a fastball on the outside corner, something along those lines.
I want Jimmy Hart in my ear, man.
Okay.
It's a bullhorn.
Maybe not the Rock
Kool-Aid?
of today, but the Rock of yesteryear when he was simply just a wrestler. Oh, that guy could get me simply like fired.
But he's
up.
not screaming it. Remember that.
Yep.
This has got to be a voice that we're not doing too many octaves here. We're not at Virginia Tech before
Oh,
a
I thought
football
you
game.
meant like in the ninth inning trying to. I thought you said, "Oh, who
Oh,
wants
yeah,
to get?" When we're
yeah.
ramping up,
You wish you
I'm
could
getting a
ramp it
Rock.
up. But
Yeah.
that's not how it works, unfortunately. I was wondering if anybody would want to have a lovely lady's voice in their ear to pitch.
Hey, there's
Too
1-900
distracting.
numbers
Oh,
for
yeah.
that, Shep.
There is 100 numbers. Yes.
Party line.
Anson has told me about those numbers. So who would it be, Kool-Aid?
Ooh, man, that's a good one. I like the James Earl Jones one though. I really like that one.
Yeah, I like that one
But-
too.
but-
I'm
but-
surprised he said it just because of the Michigan connection, but I give him credit for saying
Bro,
it. Yeah.
like I know a Michigan connection with James Earl Jones. He is Darth Vader.
Well,
If anybody's going to channel that last strong pitch you're going to get,
Yeah.
it's the Lord of the Sith, man.
I was thinking of him more as the King, from Coming to America.
Oh, okay.
Give me that.
I thought you were going to give me Mufasa for a minute. Okay. Because he's the Lion King, is he
Yeah.
not? Okay.
Yeah, one of the greatest
So-
voiceover actors.
Oh my God! I would argue the
all time.
greatest. Who challenges him? What voice? I mean, before him, it was Mel Blanc, but only because he did all the voices of Bugs Bunny. But he's not going to have you. You don't want throw me a curveball
How
in your
about
ear.
Ken Burns in the ear?
Ken Burns.
Now, I can't
from
believe
the baseball.
from like all the documentaries, but yes,
Yeah.
the baseball documentary.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Absolutely has to be watched by every baseball fan in the world.
For-
all 10 innings.
Yeah, they're good. I wouldn't take his voice, quite honestly. I was going to do a John Facenda from football. The old Kansas City Super Bowl. I mean,
I got a
that
voice.
voice radiates.
Oh, like all the NFL film stuff.
All the NFL.
Okay,
I got one for our guy Bray,
Yeah.
David Attenborough.
David Attenborough for sure. For sure. I was going to say that one too after.
I know that's the voice in Bray's
The
head.
ice glaciers are melting. Please throw a slider.
How about the crocodile guy?
Okay,
that passed
Crocodile
away?
Dundee?
No, not him.
Oh,
Well,
Not-
you're always
not this is
asking.
a
You're
knife.
asking for dead people. So
I am. I'm
okay.
going dead people. The guy that got stung by the stingray. What was his name?
Steve.
Steve Irwin.
Crikey.
Steve Irwin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crikey.
Irwin.
Yeah.
Get that one over the plate, yeah?
Yeah.
Come on, mate.
That wouldn't be a bad one. But then you could always blame the home run on I didn't understand what that was saying. So that's a possibility.
You know what I would love, Shep? If I could change my GPS voice to Ernie Harwell.
How about that? I would
have
love
his ball
that.
on my desk. He signed it. It's long gone. It's
That-
an old relic.
That would be a
But-
really good voice to have,
Oh,
especially
man.
if you're a pitcher, for crying out loud.
My
If you had
Siri-
Ernie Harwell or Vin Scully, or if you had a burp in between Harry Carey, that wouldn't be a bad one either.
My Siri is a New Zealand woman's voice.
That does not surprise me.
Quite comforting. Although I couldn't get to call my, I'd be like, Siri, call mom. And she'd be like, I don't understand. Call mom. I don't understand. Call mum. And then it rings.
Ah, okay.
She sounds great, though.
So you have to.
I
carry
bet she
on
does.
Whole sentences like that with that.
Listen, you could do Australian female. I mean, you do Australian male if that's your thing. You can do Kiwi. You can do Irish. Irish
Thunder Down
female
Under.
on your phone every time you talk to Siri.
Oh.
Exciting.
My Siri's
You know
Irish.
she's got back dimples, bro. You already know.
All right, so we've got James Earl Jones. We've got John Facenda. Kool-Aid's got David Attenborough. Freddie's got Ernie Harwell, which is probably the
I
winner.
think that's the winner.
What about you?
Yeah.
Cam?
All right,
What do you got?
all right. I'm rolling with Matthew McConaughey.
You know what? That's a good one. The Texas connection.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it
Sweet
is.
potato can with another touchdown.
Who's the voice you don't want?
I know.
Who's the
Anson
voice
doesn't
that's
want
going to
hear
make
it.
you
Who's
miss
got
the
it better
target
than us?
every single time?
Roseanne.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Yes. Gilbert
Solid.
Godfried is the winner. Yeah.
For me, Monty Williams. I don't want to hear that guy ever in my head.
Oh, the Pistons coach?
Oh yeah.
Kathy Griffin.
It always
feel
comes
that.
back to the Pistons for Kool-Aid. Unbelievable. Most people wouldn't even recognize his voice, for crying out
I
loud.
covered it though, man. I was in those press conferences hearing the same answers every day.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I don't want to
Kool-Aid's over it.
What's the crazy redheaded?
How about Stan Van Gundy?
Kathy
if you're gonna,
Griffin.
if you're going to go that route, I don't want to hear Stan Van Gundy.
There were
All
players who
raspy,
said
just,
that.
all right,
All
the crown
res-
is.
Yeah. All right. Let's make sure we get the fork bowl in the dirt.
guys.
Who's the crazy redheaded comedian.
Is it Carrot Top?
No, the girl that hates Trump like terribly.
Oh, Kathy Griffin.
Oh my good Lord, that one would just
Fran Drescher.
take me out of the game.
Same.
What about Fran Drescher?
That one would be.
Oh,
pretty
that
bad,
would be
too.
hard too. The nasally, that would be harsh. Randall Smalls had a really good one, but this might scare you if you're in the middle of anything. It's Sam Kinison. You guys know who Sam Kinison is?
Shout out. The late Sam.
That's a great one. That's a great one.
Pitch it, throw it.
You're screaming at the catcher. Say it, say it. I love that. All right, fun stuff. Good way to start. All right, when we come back, we're going to do some Lions grades. I know NFL franchises don't like this. I know the league doesn't like this. But you know who loves it? These guys. The grades for general managers, owners, players, from the players, and a whole lot more. We do that when we come back on the Braylon Edwards Show right after this from Ven Johnson and Art and Jakes. That's your cue. Ven Johnson.
Am I talking justice?
You are.
Tell him I
talking.
don't have a paper, and I need Ven to get after my my guy that didn't give
Where's
me
the
that
New
paper.
Zealand accent?
No, we're not
Do
doing
the
that.
whole thing in an Australian accent. Go. Art and Jakes, mate.
No, I'm not doing that. Listen, you need a fighter, you need Ven Johnson in your corner. Everyone is trying to screw you over, whether it's your insurance company, your landlord, it doesn't matter. They don't want to settle. You need somebody in your corner that is going to force them to settle. And the best in town is Ven Johnson. Ven Johnson Law. You can find him at venfights.com.
Good time to go to a game tonight or go to Art and Jakes and watch the game, where you can watch it on 80 different TVs and have the beer flowing. We talk about a six-pack Friday. That's not for your abs. It's for the type of beer you're going to have at Art and Jakes. And on top of great food, on top of great company, and on top of all kinds of different beer, like 22 different beers on tap that you can choose from, they are so involved in the community. Right now, they are cooperating with Romeo Lions Club St. Baldrick's and the festival that is happening Saturday, March 14th in downtown Romeo. They want you to be part of it. Help cure childhood cancer, or at least by getting involved here, you get to help the research that is associated with childhood cancer, because we want to stamp that out. How do you do it? You go to RomeoSB.com. That's RomeoSB.com. Or you can make it really simple. If you're watching at home right now on YouTube, you can scan that QR code and do what's right.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new face, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. Venfights.com.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, it's a ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero, icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-Zero.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
It's game on at Art and Jakes. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Over 2,700 clubs nationwide, over 50 in the Metro Detroit area. It's Planet Fitness, and it's everywhere. You drive to work, you drive home. I know you're passing 5 of them. Get over there. You can get yourself that Black Card Spa where you can recover with hydro massage and other innovative amenities. You can bring a free guest anytime as well.
Oh, nice.
And that is for a $24.99 a month. It's the cheapest around. It's the place to be, and it's judgment-free. We are all strong on this planet, Planet Fitness.
That's a bonus when you can be a friend for free. All right, you know what else is a bonus? Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. This is the weekend. Enjoy it, man. Get involved. Have some fun. Get on that couch and watch your favorite team, or get to the arena and watch your favorite team. Whatever the case may be, real vodka, real iced tea, no bubbles, a clean, crisp sip. Sun Cruiser Vodka. It's the perfect drink while you're watching your favorite team, but please drink responsibly.
And we back.
Cowboys have designated a franchise tag on George Pickens. That doesn't surprise us at all. Not one bit. Doesn't surprise us at all. The National Football League did not want the NFLPA, the Players Association, to pull their players union or players and ask them to grade the various teams, because there can be a lot of negativity associated with it. Well, they didn't want them to publish it. The NFL, they weren't specific enough, because the NFLPA didn't publish it. They just leaked it to ESPN and other media outlets. So you're going to have all kinds of nastiness and all kinds of finger pointing, but good thing is that they have a contract between the two. With that said, the Detroit Lions have been graded on a number of different things. And the reason the NFL didn't want this, by the way, is because the NFL felt like it was very subjective on how the players chose the categories. So here are some of the categories in which these teams were associated. Ready? The Detroit Lions, treatment of families. Your family comes, you've got a booth, or a suite. You get an opportunity to go into a certain area where they can eat by themselves. Treatment of families, a B+. I love this back wall, by the way. Great work by Brendan and Cam together and Kool-Aid. Home game field, B-. My guess is Ford Field is not very popular because of the surface. I think everybody loves the place, but it's the surface. Food and dining area, B. Nutritionist and dietitian, A-. You can see that. The locker room, there's nothing to complain about that locker room. It's really sweet. A. Training room, A-. You see all this. Weight room. Weight room is more about Allen Park. Their weight room is awesome at Allen Park. So then you get into the coaches. Strength conditioning coaches, A. Position coaches, for the most part, A-. Offensive coordinator, it did not work out with John Morton. And obviously that has to take Dan Campbell into account to a certain extent. The B for Kelvin Shepard is a little surprising. Team travel, I've traveled with him. I'm sure it's a lot different now. When I used to travel regularly with him, it was pretty easy and no problem. General manager Brad Holmes with an A-. Team ownership, A. All right? Dan Campbell, an A. There were 18 teams in the National Football League who received an A. Could be an A-, could be an A, could be an A+. But Detroit is one of 18 teams overall, team ownership, A. What jumps out to you on that, and what surprises you most?
I mean, what surprises me most is in 5 years, this franchise is considered this way by Lions players. Mm-hmm. This is a franchise for decades. Former players would throw a leaving the Lions party. When guys would go into free agency and leave Detroit or get traded, former players would get together and they would have a party. You're gone. You got out of there. Mm-hmm. So we talk about culture. We throw that word around a lot, and now we're so focused on winning a championship that we forget the overhaul that these gentlemen and this lady did to this franchise. Mm-hmm. This team wouldn't be ranking up here 5 years ago or 10 years ago or 30 years ago.
Agreed.
Some of the things that are sticking, the team travel, there's always going to be people complaining about travel. looking around it, honestly, I think that the offensive coordinator, this is a team that finished in the top 5 offensively. This is more than about his X's and O's. John Morton was not well liked. He did not get along. He did not assimilate, and now he's gone. And I think that should take more off of a head coaching grade. But this head coaching grade to me is not his performance on the year. To me, this one, and I think we'll get into that later, but this one talks about, do you want to play for your coach? And I don't think there's anybody in the NFL that wouldn't love to play for this man. It's not surprising, but it jumps out because we have a guy that was laughed at in his first press conference, and now people will lay down their life, like Hassanin talked about. He will give his life for this coach, and to have that's amazing.
Yeah, I think that's a little hyperbolic with Hassanin saying that. He said the right thing.
I don't think he's actually going to war.
But I hear what you're saying. I think everything you said is dead on. The C- jumps out to me because it is associated with Dan Campbell.
100%.
And yet Dan Campbell got an A. That's the surprising thing. Campbell took over as the offensive coordinator. He's the guy who started calling plays. So the C-, you can't have it both ways. But my guess is the C- is more about John Morton, the man,
yes,
not the play calling.
100%.
Because Dan Campbell takes over the play call. And actually, John Morton, their offense, was pretty good when he was let go. Dan Campbell takes over right away, and it's better. And then it hits the skids a little bit. All right?
Too much on his plate.
Yes. So I think the offensive coordinator is specifically about John Morton, the guy.
And I think that's all of this. I think that, we'll talk about the rankings and grades that we get for those head coaches. I think this is more about who you're playing for versus production.
Okay.
Because I think that the grading of the coaches, now you're talking about production. Could they handle the team? Did they keep guys happy? Did they call the right things at the right times? I'm not giving him an A for that. But these boys clearly love playing for him. I think that's why he got that.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Let's get into the ownership. The ownership specifically. So we've already seen that the Lions have an A. They are, like I mentioned, one of 18 teams to have some form of A. These are the rest of them. The Vikings, Ravens, and Broncos and Commanders, all A+. That surprises me a little bit. The Raiders, Texans, Dolphins, which stand out to me as a surprise.
Raiders especially.
Yes. Colts, Jags, Falcons, Lions, Seahawks, Bills, Saints, Bears, Packers, Niners, Chargers. All A's from their players. The Saints surprise me. The Dolphins surprise me. And the Raiders surprise me. And I think the reason the Dolphins surprise me is because Braylon has talked pretty regularly about Stephen Ross as an owner, and it's not that great. I don't know what they're taking into account here. I don't know if they're taking the weather of Miami and the fact that these guys love to have an opportunity to go to the beach and have a good time. That could be part of it. But those are all really surprising to me. And then the Eagles with a B is surprising. And then obviously the Steelers with a D-.
Shocking.
The Steelers are but when you take into account everything they're using as part of their criteria, for example, the fact that they only have 5 stalls in the bathroom at the Steelers practice or at the Steelers facility is unbelievable. You've got 54 guys on a Sunday home game that are dressed or that are there, 48 who are dressed, and you've got 5 stalls. That's it?
Well,
that's a problem.
Looking at some of the rankings and stuff that we had on that
Maybe
last
it's 7
page
stalls.
that might have brought the Lions only down to an A, think about all the things that are working against the Steelers for them to have a D-. It's more than just shitters.
Yeah.
For real.
Well, but what else is it then?
I don't know, but that to me is the most shocking one. I didn't think the Jags would have an A. I didn't think the Raiders would have an A. I certainly didn't have a D- for the Steelers on my bingo card. I mean, when you go to that city, and again, they're not playing for the team, so I don't know, but my ex went to Pitt. Every single girl in town is wearing Steelers regalia.
Correct.
Everybody there is bought in. I mean, the stadium is awesome. There's so many things going for them. They're winning over the last 60 plus years.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of
stability is what you're talking about.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that must be weighing that number down. I'd love to see how they got that.
I think it's more about facilities and some of the nuances that players expect today, and rightfully so.
How old is Heinz
don't
Field?
get.
It's still not that old.
It's not
is it?
that old.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a great place to watch a game. I broadcast from there. It's a great place to watch a game, but I can't say that I've ever been inside the locker room. And sometimes there's a huge difference. If you look at the Cardinals, if you look at pictures of the Cardinals, football's a little different than just about any other sport. Media don't go into the locker room until after the game. And that's different than practice facilities. The practice facility of a locker room might be completely different than the locker room, I should say, at the practice facility might be completely different than their stadium. Okay, but if you look at the Cardinals' locker room and compare it to the Chargers or the Rams, it's not even the same hemisphere. It's ridiculous. I am surprised that the Rams got to be, considering how much they spend. And if you've ever seen their amenities, it's amazing. But the Cardinals with an F, the only team to get an F, and you see the Bengals, Bucs,
Bengals should
Steelers,
be there. Browns, you expect to be there. Cardinals. I'm a
But
little
the Browns
surprised by the Chiefs at a C+.
Same here. But the Browns with the passing grade.
We just in the mud, just
Yeah,
out of prison,
or in a prison. Yeah, yeah. It shows you about their ownership, the Bidwells, who have never been good owners. And it's another example of why I always laugh when the NFL talks about how important certain things are to them. Ownership cannot be part of it because they know this family. It's not just this guy, but this family has this reputation, and nothing's done about it.
So should Lion fans take that grade into account when they make their judgment of one Drew Petzing? Because he's coming from an organization that clearly no one wants to be at. They don't have things running right. And obviously that doesn't always translate to the field. But,
Sure.
I mean, we've watched them be nothing for forever. At this point, to me, maybe you don't really know who's coming out of there and that these guys could be diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, I think what you do instead of that, I think you look more at the grades of coaches, okay? And
are we going to do that?
Well, we've got head coaches, but I believe Drew Petzing was part of. First of all, he was part of a staff in Arizona that got a better grade than you might have thought.
Okay.
Okay, so that's first and foremost. That's where I would look at it. If you look at Arizona's report card, much like the Lions report card, the offensive coordinator in Arizona, from their players, I believe received a B-. So that's what I would look at rather than the ownership grade.
Shep, can I ask you something real quick? You've had experience being in the locker rooms. As a reporter, journalist, or just part of the team, how do you get the feel for kind of player-personnel relationships? Because I know certain clubhouses, certain locker houses, it's locker rooms. It's like kind of we kind of keep the house under wraps. We don't want a sloppy shop. How do you get a sense of like that player-personnel relationship?
Well, there's a little bit of a misnomer. General managers don't go. This is not Moneyball. General managers in most sports do not go into locker rooms. They may go in afterwards. Okay, if there's a celebration, we're handing out footballs. We just won the game. We're handing out Anson a game ball, and they'll be part of that celebration. They're not going in to rah-rah and cheer up their players. They're not doing that, okay? What most general managers in baseball will do is they'll come in, they may grab something to eat, they may say hi to a player once in a while, but usually they're going in the back and they're talking to the manager and talking to some coaches. But they're not walking around and slapping every single player on the knee. Maybe that's opening day.
He said knee.
But for the most part, they're not doing any of that stuff. Trajan Langdon is not going in. Kool-Aid's been in the he doesn't see him in the clubhouse or in the locker room. It doesn't happen. And Steve Eiserman's not going in the Red Wings.
What about Jerry Jones?
Well,
he's in there.
No, that's a little different.
That's the exception.
That's a little different because his body fits in, but his ego doesn't.
I literally bumped into him at the combine.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you talk to him?
Oh yeah.
He's actually.
How long did he talk to you?
He's actually pretty endearing. I talked to him on the Monday night game here.
So my wife was dropping us off because parking is atrocious near Lucas Oil. We did the little, jump out. I'm not going to say what the fire drill is. We don't want Woodward to get it. You know what I mean? We won't say fire drill. But we see a Cowboys bus going up, and they're kind of like right next to us. And, the windows are sending out. You're like, what if Jerry jumps out? And I'm just saying, being facetious about it.
Manifest.
Dude, we got out. All right, we'll hit you up, later on tonight. And dude, we got about 20 feet up, and we look back. Here comes Jerry Jones. And as much as I hate the Cowboys, and as much as I despise him, he was rolling this deep with security. Jerry Jones walked up to Lucas Oil by himself.
Oh, I didn't
no
know that.
security,
Oh,
no
wow.
team personnel, and you got the goobers that are there, Mr. Jones, and they got their garbage bags of Cowboy stuff.
yeah.
This was fresh off of the off season after the guy that didn't report but did report, that whole fiasco
Last year.
and we knew we were on the schedule with him. I'm like, hey Jerry, and he looked over. I go, Lions fan from Pontiac, Michigan. I can't wait to play you in Dallas next year. And he just went and nodded and smiled,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
He's
but
not-
I said, I
he's
appreciate
not,
you.
He's not a
walking with no
bad dude.
security.
He's really not. I mean,
No
he
security.
just, the amount of attention he needs is, throw up in my mouth type of stuff. But when you actually get to him, and it's been a little bit. We don't cover him on a daily basis, but when you actually get to him, he's not terrible. Okay, he is approachable, which you can't say that about every owner in sports. What were you going to say, Kool-Aid?
I
Go
was
ahead.
going to say, when you look at the Lions there, I don't know if this is splitting hairs, but what do you think separates them from being one of those teams with the A+? I thought Sheila had a lot of hype. Has done a lot of good, had a lot of success. They've been winning. So I do. It just made me think a little bit.
I guess I would say this. Maybe some players are just easier graders than other. If you told me before the year that at the end of the season your coach would get an A, your owner would get an A, your GM would get an A, whether it be an A-, A, or A+, I'd take it.
We're
Great
talking about
time.
the Lions. You're not happy with an A?
I'm happy. I was just wondering what separates them, because I would
Yeah.
give them obviously an A+, but thinking about the history
John
of the
Morton
Lions, this
separates
is awesome.
them, bro.
Yeah.
John Morton.
John Morton.
That's the difference.
That could be. That absolutely could be. All right, so that's the ownership. Let's get to the general managers. All right, and the general managers, you see that Dan Morgan and Chris Ballard and Les Snead and the like are in the A. The A- is Brad Holmes, and again, I consider that an A. So I hope you're all right with that. The biggest surprise for me on this whole thing is Howie Roseman, because in Detroit he is close to a god. I mean, everybody wants Howie Roseman, right? I mean, because he's the one who traded for certain players. He went out and got Zadarius Smith. Oh, my gosh. You remember the conversations we all had about that. Oh, my gosh.
But what
Look,
city
went
is he in,
Jalen
Shep?
Phillips.
But what city is he in?
Well, he's in Philadelphia, but
They booed Santa. They
Oh,
threw
God.
batteries.
I am so tired of
They
that.
could get 3 championships in the
I
next
can't
year,
stand
and they
old.
will still complain about their ownership, their manager, their head coach, their players. That's Philly, bro.
Santa
But if you're
Claus.
going to get the overhyped Philly mantra right, make sure you say they threw snowballs at Santa.
Yeah.
They're so proud of that. It's disgusting.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that is. You can never please
This
the
is-
Philadelphia fan base.
This isn't voted on by fans. This is voted on by players. That's the
did not
difference.
hear that part.
Yes. This is the National Football League Players Association General Manager report card. This is not
They're
Freddie
still
Feld or
Philadelphia
Anson
people,
Wells.
though. They live in Philly, so they're not exempt.
Well, if they're letting the fans influence their belief instead of taking their own personal experience,
I
that's
think
a
the
problem.
thing with Howie is he's just very cut and dry. He's going to give it to you raw, and I think that some people have an issue with that. He's not going to mince words, and he's going to win championships, and that pisses people off sometimes.
Do you think
when you
how-
are all
yeah.
business?
Exactly.
That's
Do you
fair.
think Howie views players just, we've all worked for a manager or a boss who the employees are disposable. They're like the old
Sure.
camera, the Kodak cameras that back in the day.
You don't get too close to them.
Is Howie treating players where it's like
don't
we have
know.
a culture here, whatever. We'll
don't
get
know.
somebody like who knows,
pieces.
None
They're
of us-
pieces. They're
I don't
chess.
think- I
They're
don't think-
chess.
I honestly don't believe any of us know, because we're not there. So I'm not even going to take that leap. You can speculate all you want,
But that's why we're here, to speculate and talk about it
Well,
and guess.
it
No, there's
depends
a couple GMs
that
on this
depends.
list that I'm actually surprised Brad Holmes is above. Like me, I put him there, but like Brian Gutekunst, there was a little bit of time there where there was a large portion of national media that would put him above. So to see the Players Association actually have Brad Holmes in an A-, and people like Howie Roseman and Brian Gutekunst below him, John Lynch and others, I think that's big praise for Brad Holmes.
Same here. John Lynch is the same as Brad Holmes, but what
Yeah, I
surprises
see that.
me
Yeah,
is
nah,
that
hey, man.
Howie Roseman has the same grade as Jerry Jones, who was skewered over trading Micah Parsons, and Mickey Loomis, who was skewered over drafting certain players, including Tyler Shuck, his quarterback. And I'm not saying they shouldn't have been skewered. I'm just saying they have the same grade as Howie Roseman. That blows my mind, considering Roseman's got teams that have been to Super Bowls and won Super Bowls.
I'm shocked that Joe Shane even got a D.
It's a D plus, my friend. Remember
the
that?
fact that he's even in a D, he should be an EF all day.
Yeah,
he's terrible.
Yeah, but he gets a promotion. All right, so there's the GMs. Just if there's anything, the biggest names that you always remember this: Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah got fired. That's Minnesota, and he got some of the highest grades. He's in the same grading scale as Les Snead and Chris Ballard, for crying out loud. He's got a better grade than Eric DeCosta. He's got a better grade than Ryan Poles, who added his team enough to win a division and be a threat in the division or in the conference. And John Lynch. I mean, those are the names that are associated with the guy who has now been fired from Minnesota.
You know what this tells me? Players are not part of the decision-making process.
Absolutely. That's a good read on it. All right, let's get to decision makers, as in coaches. This one might be the most interesting. Now, we know with Dan Campbell, he got an A. As you look at this, I want you to think about this for a minute, okay? There's guys on this list who have been canned, and yet they have some pretty damn good grades over guys who haven't. Jonathan Gannon and Raheem Morris both got B pluses, both gone.
This is pure, do I like playing for this man?
Aaron Glenn got an A.
But they like playing for him. That's what this all comes down to. Because I thought when we were talking early on that this would be more about their effectiveness and the year in review.
Yeah.
The fact is to me, because of his choice of John Morton, because he had to take those things from him, because of the failures that resulted, I can't give Dan Campbell an A. But our guys love playing for him, you know, and you see
popularity,
that up and
you're
down
saying.
here.
Yeah, popularity.
I mean, come on. No one wants to play for Brian Daboll. He should be in the EF with his owner. You know, Pete Carroll and Jim Harbaugh, I'm kind of interested by that because those are two leaders. Those are guys that have had success at a lot of levels.
And remember, Braylon raves about playing for Pete Carroll, but obviously it wore thin. Harbaugh wears thin on just about everybody. That window for him might be 2 years, okay? Especially when you see this type of traction or lack thereof that comes with playing for Jim Harbaugh. Kevin Stefanski gets the worst grade. How does he get rewarded? He gets another job. He's now the Atlanta Falcons head coach. And yet, the Atlanta Falcons former coach got a B+, and he's gone.
The reverence for some of these guys like a Sean Payton, to see him down there in the middle and that lower part of it is interesting.
Mike McDaniel just won a Super Bowl.
And that's the thing is sometimes it takes an authoritarian to be able to get the most out of people.
I apologize. Not Mike McDaniel. Mike McDonald.
But you look at some of these names in the middle here, and some of these guys get a lot of their players. I mean, Raheem Morris, I don't imagine he's a cupcake to be around. He demands excellence. And
I think he's better than Todd Bowles. Todd
for sure. But what I'm saying is their production and their win total doesn't necessarily mean that they love playing for them.
Right.
They could be a hard ass, but they get the most out of you, and I'm going to give him a B. We won, but he's a dick.
Yeah, that might be the case with Jim Harbaugh, who's got double-digit wins in back-to-back years.
Which we've heard those types of things kind of sneak out of Go Blue land, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan. So it's interesting, though, to see the B- role and Matt LaFleur just all down there. Because I feel like the Green Bay Packers have been the all-hype team over the last 3 to 4 years. And so to see their GM now just down a little bit, their coach down a little bit, and nobody believes that, they still believe in Jordan Love, but they don't have him in that same, heir apparent role that they used to. So it's interesting to see that, Green Bay, people are kind of cooling on them just a little bit. And with the Players Association voting on this, I know Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn were the number 1 and number 2 highest rated assistants when they were with the Lions from players saying who they would like to play for. And Dan Campbell, he's been pretty highly rated too, so it holds consistent.
You can tell this is not voted on by members of the media or fans.
Or fans,
when Aaron Glenn gets an A, and they
oh man, he got superpowers.
And the people, he's got superpowers. I love that line. And he was supposedly, now I've watched it over and over and over again. Did you think he was sleeping at the combine? Because that's what everybody's
rough,
saying.
And I like Aaron Glenn, but that was rough. That was tough, dog.
That's a long day, though, Kool-Aid. Come on, man.
Wait,
Let
did
the
you
man
think he
have
was
a
sleeping, though?
I've been there.
That's not the question. Did you think he was sleeping? Did you think it looked like he was sleeping? I thought it was hard to tell.
To me, it looked like he was sleeping. I've been there.
Okay.
It looked like
no,
he
wait
was
a minute.
sleeping.
If somebody didn't say he's sleeping, if you just watch the video without that, that's how you really need to watch it. Don't let somebody else tell you what it is. If you see that, do you think it's sleeping right away? Because I didn't notice that.
He was resting his eyes.
It's 50-50 for me. Like, there's that time where you're like,
Sure.
And then there's
flinch.
that time where
I
you
get
just
it.
kind of, you get a little sleepy, and you might even pass out for a split second, but then you're like,
well, that's after one of your beer bongs. I'm talking about watching the NFL.
I can handle
my
beer
thought,
bongs,
what if he was just what if he was just thinking
Like
for a
zoned
moment?
out?
You know what I mean?
But it was a close your eyes. I think Freddie's got it. I think it was a moment of reflection,
Okay.
and he might have slipped under for about a second or two. I don't think that it was, Biden, Trump sleeping in the middle of stuff like we've seen over the last few years.
Yeah.
I think that's a long ass day. He's sitting there like, damn, I got to win more than 3 games.
Yeah, Shep, to be fair, I've been to like 10 combines, and I mean, I probably passed out for a couple minutes.
Yeah, but it's not your job.
Yeah,
There's the difference.
I'm being
it's
silly.
his
but yeah.
job to watch these guys on a regular basis and have a conversation. Here's how you avoid falling asleep at your job.
Stand up.
Talk to somebody next to you.
Yeah.
Have your general manager next to you. Have some of your coaches next to you. What do you like about this dude? What do you like about that dude? He put himself in a really tough spot by what it looked like was a suite, and he's by himself.
Yeah.
Which I found very strange because, I mean, maybe the general manager got up and went to the bathroom. I don't know. But it seemed like usually you're there with somebody within your front office and you're talking about players and what you're noticing.
Hey, he gets a pass because those foggy glasses in the rain, that's such an iconic.
So iconic.
Yeah, he
So
gets a
iconic.
pass.
Kool-Aid, before we hit a break and we dive into what Dwayne Wade had to say about the Pistons, do you have anything from the chat that you want to
Do we have a video of Dwayne Wade teaching his little one how to dribble? Have you seen that video?
I haven't.
Oh, good Lord.
We don't have
that,
but we do have him talking about who he believes will be in the NBA Finals, and we'll get to that coming up. Anything from the chat that we want to share with folks?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So we got a couple more super chats in here.
Okay.
Thank you guys for being here and supporting the
thank you.
crew. Go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't gotten the opportunity to. But let me see here. Michael Wary, $2 super chat. He says when DC took over, the O started to cook as it relates to going back to the
Dan
overall
Campbell.
coaching and such. What happened with the OC versus Dan Campbell getting the A? Maybe that's a little bit of
how many people truly noticed that? How like, I think it killed him. It killed John Morton on the very first game. The very first game, coming out looking disorganized, was an absolute killer for him. But do we forget that they scored 52 against the Bears?
And next week.
And Jared Goff, the very next week. And Jared Goff, I'm not standing up for John Morton because I wanted him gone too. But, and Jared Goff threw for 334 yards. I mean, did you think the offense looked like hell when they beat Baltimore 38-30?
I didn't notice a difference all year.
I mean, they ran for 224 yards against the Baltimore Ravens. I know we can look back and say that Baltimore team wasn't that great, but at the time, I want you to keep yourself in a moment. At the time, how did you feel? Did you think the offense was pretty good then? I think most people felt like it was.
I didn't notice a difference between the Dan-led and the John-led. They were both inconsistent. Sometimes they could run the hell out of the rock. Other times they completely forgot how to run the ball. You saw games where Jared Goff wasn't accurate, and it's like, what are they drawing up right now? If I hadn't been told that John Morton had been let go or relieved of play calling duties, I would have never known.
He took over after the Vikings loss, correct? Dan Campbell took over in the Washington game, and they put up, 44 against the Commanders, something like that? Remember, the very next week against Philadelphia, they scored 9 points. How is that cooking? They lost to the Green Bay Packers.
Well, you wonder what John could have evolved into if he doesn't have it taken from him. Because, again, I don't believe that Dan Campbell did a better job with the offense in the second half than John Morton did in the first half. Dan Campbell knows his team a lot better than John Morton does. And you wonder, to your point, there was some games where he didn't look good offensively, and there was some games where they put up over 40 points. And you don't let that guy try and figure it out through the course of the season. It terribly backfired for Dan.
Well, now, in fairness to those in the chat who said that, I want to look at it from their point of view. It's not always about putting up points. It's about who's getting involved, and it's about how many different ways you use your wide receivers. Are you bunching them? Are you twins on each side? What exactly are you doing to mix things up from an offensive standpoint? The only thing I would remind people is everybody loved David Montgomery, and I loved him too. But David Montgomery was so pissed off about the way he was used, and most of the offense was directed by Dan Campbell. He was so pissed off that he's probably going to move on. Okay? There is nothing done to adjust from the guys inside, which was the weakest part of the offense. Yeah. We are upset that Isaac Tesla did not get involved nearly enough. Is that all on John Morton, or is that on Dan Campbell?
I think,
or is that on both?
When you have the opportunities open up, like Sam Laporta and some of your pass catchers might be a little banged up, at a certain point in time, you do have to say, what's going on here, Dan Campbell? Because Isaac Tesla, you invested in him. He looked like he had the skill set. And I feel like you needed him.
Well, your general manager, look, you can show all the Detroit Lions video-made moments you want from draft day where it's like, hey, man, you're ready to be a Detroit Lion?
Yep.
And ask that of every single player who's getting drafted by you. But if Dan Campbell's sitting there going, how about playing him more than, 30% of the snaps on offense? Would that be okay? So I guess and again, this sounds like I'm sticking up for John Morton, and I'm not. And I like Dan Campbell. You got to preface all this stuff because otherwise people in the chat will be like, God, you're such a hater. No, I'm just asking the question.
And
if you're sitting there telling me that the offense cooked when Dan Campbell took over, give me how it cooked. Because I didn't see it.
It didn't.
The usage, it's like the points
too.
you've both hit on. The usage was just so inconsistent to the point, and that kind of goes along with Anson's point. Like, throughout the year, there's blowout wins, but situationally on drives, you're looking at it exactly like, why are they just going with Gibbs? Why is Gibbs going up the middle 2 times, and then we rush again to the third down, and it's like 3rd and 18, and we're like, situationally, it just felt off from the jump to me, even in those blowout games.
And from the start of the season, all Lion fans wanted was Jahmyr Gibbs and J-Mo. Just give the ball to those two guys. That's all I heard all off season, during the season. And then at the end of the season, we didn't give the ball to Monty enough.
Yeah.
Right.
The narrative changed.
What is it? You want the sexy guys to have the ball all the time, but that's not how football works.
Yeah, my frustration has been, and this has been consistent through the season as well, you move heaven and earth to get what the general manager called his favorite receiver in the draft. Your head coach is there with you in the draft room. Don't tell me you haven't had conversations. You're not Aaron Glenn falling asleep at the combine. You're having conversations about this, right? When you have those conversations, how do you target this young man 27 times? That's all I'm asking. 27 times in 17 games. He played all 17. He started 3. He had 27 targets. That, to me, seems odd. Now, Dan Campbell would know better than I would. Scotty Montgomery, the wide receivers coach, would know better than I would. Dan Campbell / John Morton would know better as coordinators on whether or not he's ready. But if he wasn't ready, what were you doing to make him more ready after giving up as much as you did to make him a piece of the offense?
Well,
and I don't see it. And then the other thing was, like I said, that offensive line, we all admit, was the worst part of this team.
Yes, sir.
Secondary maybe sometimes, but overall, the offensive line.
Those are the top 2 without question.
Where were the changes made at the offensive line? Did they make any changes at center? Not until Graham Glasgow was hurt. Did they make a change at left guard? Not until Christian Mahogany was hurt. Why?
Well, and going back to the offense too, you talk about predictability. You know when the ball was going to Tesla, right? Like if it's 3rd and 18 and you got to score before halftime, hey, let's throw an alley-oop up to Tesla. The kid's athletic.
Red zone.
You know, red zone. Yeah.
But that would be fine by me, Freddie. They didn't even do that. They didn't do that enough. And
they did that. They didn't do it enough.
When they did it, it was super predictable, but it wasn't in every predictable opportunity.
Yeah, I'm not going to look. It's a fair statement. I'm not going to say they were predictable because to me, predictable used to be Bo Schembechler and Herb Duramity. Run twice and then throw on third down.
Yep.
I'm not saying they were predictable by any stretch, but I do believe that there were certain football packages that they used that could have been more creative.
Absolutely.
And I'm not just talking about 13 personnel here. I'm talking about in general by inserting Tesla once in a while. And there was a resistance to that. Doing something different when Sam Laporta got hurt. Flexing, a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs while keeping Montgomery in the backfield. How often did we hear we might see that? We didn't see that nearly enough.
To Freddie's point, I don't think that our offense was predictable. The usage of Tesla was. And you bring him in that red zone package, in that 3rd and long package, and they knew what to do.
No one was surprised. Not the fans.
Not at all.
Not the other team.
Yeah, clamp the rookie down.
He had to make
to
amazing
Shep's
catches.
point is let's get him out there in a 2nd down on a crossing route.
Yep.
Let's get him the ball with some space. That's what we never saw this year was yak, excuse me, for him because everything was a jump ball catch and he was tackled or it was a touchdown. I want to see what that guy can do with the ball in his hand because he can move.
And I think that this is fair conversation, especially Shep, saying it's not to necessarily pump up or prop up John Morton, but to look at the responsibility of Dan Campbell, who I believe he's still going to have some heavy influence in that offense this year.
Well, he has to.
Especially,
he's the head coach. It's his neck on the line for sure.
Especially when you bring in a Drew Petzing who the way that they sold it to everybody was what? Well, did you see how good he is in the run game? Well, how does that solve the creativity and the innovation that we were sold? You have these playmakers in Jahmyr Gibbs. You said you have a way to make sure that both he and David Montgomery can eat. You said we're going to see the flexes. You said we got this Isaac Tesla and even J-Mo to go half the season, most of the season, answering questions about the way he's being used and to have your OC have to apologize.
But remember, that was the nail in the proverbial coffin for Drew Petzing. When you come out
for Morton.
and public, I'm sorry. Yeah, I meant John Morton. I hope it's not for Petzing. Thank you for the correction.
It can't be for him.
When he comes out and he says, look, I went and I apologized to Jameson Williams because I've failed him. That's what killed it.
Yeah.
You could say that privately. Why you would say that publicly is ridiculous. You might say that at the end of the year. You might say that after your team has a really good run. You may say that after he has a good run himself, Jameson Williams. Hey, listen, we fixed some things with him because, quite honestly, I was failing him, but he and I talked it over and we worked it out.
That's that point when all your friends know your girl's about to dump you, except for you. You have no clue. But I apologized.
Hey, man,
it's coming.
Hey, man,
it's
coming. You guys want to double date and go to the dance? No. We've got some plans. I'm sorry, man. Hey, which restaurant are we all going to?
Who?
I don't know.
Call you tomorrow with
I
the
can't
info.
go to a party with you, Anson, if you haven't been invited. That's violating the friendship rule. It's a Seinfeld line. All right, when we come back,
all done. He had no idea.
When we come back, this is, by the way, is all spoken from experience by all the guys in this room who've been dumped.
I didn't just come up with that
no
out of
kidding.
nowhere, bro. Shout out to the Brandons who told me before it happened.
When we come back, we're going to talk about what Dwayne Wade had to say and how the Pistons are front and center on a lot of the national media, and they've got them in their crosshairs. We'll do that next.
Let's go. Look, I know y'all are looking to take your relaxation to the next level, so go ahead and scan that QR code and get a jump on this info. You got to visit the Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. It's the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest. Features top-tier brands like Infinity and Osaki. You want to remember those brands when you go for your test drive at the showroom. Experience the difference with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, and creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews at the Wellness Doc. I'm telling you, this chair here, it is sweeping. It was when it first got here. I think.
How would Aaron Glenn like that chair?
Oh, Aaron Glenn would love that. That's what he needed at the combine. Perfect. Like Spinny used to be the only person brave enough to get in there. And now it's sweeping, and all of us love this massage chair. So experience the difference with Dr. Eric Duncan, The Wellness Doc. Follow him at The Wellness Doc. Book your visit today at MassageChairHouse.com or simply scan the QR code on your screen. Massage Chair House. Aaron Glenn, this is your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Starting to warm up a little bit, even though Anson wears a jacket inside. It is warm up outside. Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning can help you whether it's warm or whether it's cold. Your system, whether it be a heating system or an air conditioning system, has to run safely, has to run efficiently for you. You need someone who is fast and dependable. That is Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning. Over 40 years of reliable service. Call them today, 734-238-3805. That's 734-238-3805. And tell them the Braylon Edwards Show sent you.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero, icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shaq Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero, icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-Zero.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
And our Pistons wrap up their colossal 3-game homestand tonight against the Cavs. Let's go. Get up on that Caesars Sportsbook app because you can place any bet up to $1,000. And if you lose, you get that bet back. All you got to do is scan the QR code, enter the code Woodward1000, and if your first bet doesn't hit, you get your deposit back up to $1,000. Just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet $20. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today. The official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code on the screen.
Give it a shot. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Bon Jovi. You know, we'll give it a shot. Remember that? Living on a prayer.
Every day.
Anyway,
Every
Sam
day,
Adams
baby.
Cherry Wheat will give it a shot. $5 shorts Mondays, Thursdays, Saturdays, where Art and Jake's. Get ready for round 2. Pistons? No, not the Pistons and Cavs. We're talking round 2 between Michigan and Michigan State. Spartans had a really impressive win last night. Sam Adams Cherry Wheat, brewed with real Michigan cherries, smooth enough to sip all game, win or lose. Sam Adams Cherry Wheat, please drink responsibly.
And we back.
And we got it right in front of us, man. We got the Sam Adams Cherry Wheat 6-pack coming up later on in this hour.
After a broadcast.
Ooh, hey,
Great
like
time
that.
for a beer.
That's
Great
good
time for
thinking.
Sam Adams.
I do like. I wanted to get into the Dwayne Wade and what he had to say about the Pistons because the Pistons play Cleveland tonight. But there's bigger news, so we're going to pause it for you. Big time news coming out about the Lions. At least their mindset.
Yep, and
Share
Detroit Sports Broadcast. That's who? Kool-Aid?
What?
Well,
Detroit Sports Podcast is who?
The doc, John Macron.
Shout out.
Yeah.
So basically what they are saying is that at the Combine, it was openly reported that the Lions were in heavy pursuit to trade for one Max Crosby. And now, despite getting deep into discussions with the Raiders for a trade, and there's a lot of talk here about saying that the coaching staff believe that this would be the move to put them over the top. I think the majority of Lions Nation agrees. Unfortunately, the issue and I guess gray area surrounding Terrion Arnold and the recent robbery down in South Florida has stopped all trade talks.
Wow.
For the Detroit Lions.
So that tells you that he might have been part of it, right? Okay. Well, Crunch Time Sports says the Lions and Brad Holmes were willing to meet the trade demands of the Raiders for Max Crosby. The deal was 2 first-round picks before talks ended. The deal allegedly got put on pause because of the recent Terrion Arnold news. I'm not a big guy into speculation. I think you get in dangerous territory when you start speculating. However, I would give up 2 first-rounders for Max Crosby like that.
Absolutely.
I remember last year people were saying, I'd give up 3 first-rounders. No, you wouldn't. That's ridiculous. 2 first-rounders, absolutely.
17 and 32?
You can still recover. You can still recover because you get a second-rounder, and you can get an impact player, tackle, safety, at the second round, all right? The pause for Terrion Arnold can be read in 2 different ways. One, he might have been part of a package. I find that hard to believe. I mean, the Raiders watching him.
I don't think so.
2, they are trying to figure out what to do with this young man and how quickly they're going to have to pivot, not just for an edge rusher, not just for a center. I don't think they'll do that in the draft, but they can get one in the free agent. But safety, and now if they need a corner as well, they've got some big fish to fry in that regard.
CB1 has been a need since these guys got to town, right?
Yeah. And
so,
they haven't had good judgment on those CB. Yeah, really, the Lions in general. Give me the last cornerback they drafted that you said, right on. I'll wait.
Ray Crockett. Am I going too far back, Shep?
Yeah, I mean that's a long way back.
I love me some Ray Crockett.
And by the way, he was better with Denver than Detroit. He wasn't that great with Detroit.
Yeah, but that pick when he stopped at the 1-yard line against Cowgirls, I'll always love that one. No, Terrion Arnold was drafted to be the number 1 here. There was a lot of capital put into this guy. He struggled. People seem to love him around the Lions organization.
I liked him.
I like him too, but there's a lot of smoke. We got to find out if there's some fire down south. For this to absolutely pause something as big as Max Crosby, a guy that's been on record saying he wants to be in Detroit, and the fact that you now have a general manager who's been so unwilling to part with first-round picks saying, hey, we're not going to do better than Max at 17, and what are we going to do? I mean, we might be picking 32 next year with Max. The fact that your cornerbacks issues is shutting down something so paramount to the future of your franchise tells me it's more than smoke, Shep.
Yeah, he helps you in so many different ways. So just to revisit the Micah Parsons trade, when he went from Dallas to Green Bay last offseason, it was 2 first-round picks, and it was a defensive lineman by the name of Kenny Clark, who's a good player, right? So if you were telling me that it was going to be 2 first-round picks, because if I'm the Raiders, I'm using the Micah Parsons model.
Framework, absolutely.
Okay? So I want 2 first-round picks and a starting defensive player. Again, we're speculating. I'm moving into thinking, why would they pause it if Terrion Arnold is in this type of trouble? That shouldn't cause you to pause from trading for Max Crosby. If he's got nothing to do with it, Terrion Arnold has nothing to do with it, why would you pause it? You're giving up 2 first-rounders. What are you going to use the first-rounder on a cornerback?
You use the word pivot. If they have to pivot at this crucial position, that takes precedence over having a dominant second edge rusher.
They could get a corner in the second round, though.
Well, yeah, but a startable one? I mean, we don't have a CB2, and that's what, to me, Terrion Arnold really is. I'd love him to be number 1, but you know, we go and we get a high-priced nickelback who's solid, but he's not a CB1. And now you look at your defense, and if you don't have the resources to go and help your secondary, which you already mentioned are safety issues, can you give these resources up for a luxury? And as great as Max Crosby is, a second dominant edge rusher is a luxury.
It's not. It's not a luxury.
Okay, name a Super Bowl team that won with 2 dominant edge rushers.
It's definitely needed. Is the point? It's definitely needed.
The reason why I don't think it's a luxury is because I don't know how they fix their secondary as bad as it is. So if you think you can have a dominant pass rush, that helps really whatever you're putting back there in that secondary.
So you really think that he's part of this trade? That's what you guys think? Do you think that he's being moved in this trade?
No. What I was saying.
And that's why it stopped.
I'm saying if we're speculating, and that's kind of what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And he's not part of it, why would you pause the opportunity to get such an impactful player? Remember, Will Johnson was a second-round pick, and he was a hell of a player for Arizona this past year.
Are you going to redo your kitchen when you just had a bathroom fire?
God, you sound like
no, I'm
wife.
serious.
I don't want to do
I'm
that.
serious.
I don't want to redo my kitchen.
No, listen, brother, you've got a fire in part of your house. You can't go over and redecorate one bedroom when you've got to put a fire out over here. And that is what Terrion Arnold is right now for them.
No, I don't disagree with you. I understand the mindset. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just telling you.
He got so mad about the kitchen.
I did. Just because it was redone a couple of years ago. The thing about it is the other fire that you've had that has been smoldering for a while
is your secondary or your edge?
Is your other edge.
But I mean, we just had a guy come in and be a top 15 sack artist in the league.
He did
on
it
the
in
other
5
side.
Games, dude.
Sure.
He did it in 5 games.
Sure.
And by the way, he doesn't do squat against the run.
But to me, I think that you can go out and get another AQM to fill that other side because you have this behemoth in Hutchinson. And right now they might be looking at, we don't have a CB1 or 2, and we don't know if we have a free safety or a strong safety to start this year.
But a fair question, like, what did you see more of this past season? Did you see the secondary getting cooked? I mean, I saw DJ Reed getting
4
cooked.
years of it.
But did you see the quarterback just back there, just doing his taxes, making toast? Like, you know, what was the more glaring need? Like, what was the more glaring issue?
I don't know if I can answer that because they both were.
Right? Like, I'm even thinking that. Like, I was thinking that as we're talking about this.
Kool-Aid's got a good point because if you put Max in there, you're taking a full second off of the secondary's responsibility. Like, they have to defend for 1 to 2 seconds less when you got Max over there.
And it's a person who they have to be game plan for. And how do you game plan for both Hutch and for Crosby? Now, in the past, we used to talk about this, but nobody thought that it was real. Now the reports are, listen, this stuff is real. And that's where I say they have to basically replace everything in the secondary. Like, can we count on the safeties? Can we count on Ennis Rakestraw?
Yeah.
We don't even know if we count on Terrion Arnold.
I don't even put him as part of it.
He's on the team.
The whole thing that we need to revisit, and that's why I said you can address it in the second round. They've got a lot of things to address. I understand that. Okay, because I think they're going to get a center in free agency. They need a tackle. Maybe you should do that in the second round instead. But again, I'll reiterate, Kool-Aid McKinstry, no relation to our friend Kool-Aid, he was a second-round draft pick. It's a cool name. And you got Will Johnson as a second-round pick. Cooper DeJean was a second-round pick. You can get them. I don't know about their ability to actually look at these guys and digest and whether or not they're good enough players, but you can do that. Al-Qadim Muhammad played 41% of the snaps. Max Crosby played 94%.
He's a stud.
He and Aiden Hutchinson are not coming off the field. They play against the run and against the pass. Qadim Muhammad is strictly a pass rush type of guy.
Okay, so let's say that the Lions know right now that they're not going to have Terrion Arnold.
Okay.
Okay, let's just say that.
Sure.
So now DJ Reed's your 1.
Mm-hmm.
Amik Robinson's your 2. And how tall are they together? Under 10 foot? They're about 10.04?
Under 10 feet? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
under 12 feet, I get. Yeah,
under
okay.
12 feet for
It
sure.
might be.
I was being
Are they under
sarcastic.
11?
Oh, okay.
So now you got Rock Yassin, played his ass off last year, but we're not really trying to start him, are we? You know, then you got Avonte Maddox, Khalil Dorsey, Millette, Whiteside. These guys are all special teamers for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Super depth, end of the game, put 8 corners out there type of guys. So if Terrion is off the board, now you're looking at we might have to trade this first round pick and go and get ourselves a corner.
Okay,
I don't know what.
But you can do that in the draft. Okay, we have.
You
to
mean like when they
ourselves-
got Terrion Arnold?
Well, he was a first round pick when
And
they got
how'd
Enos
that work?
Rakestraw.
How'd those work?
Well, but that's you judging their ability to find the corner, which I don't doubt.
But
that has nothing
corners don't produce.
Hold on. Either way, they're going to have to address it. Am I wrong?
Sure.
Okay. Either way, they're going to have to address the defensive end. Am I wrong?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe that they have to address the defensive end to the level of Max Crosby. I believe that they could take that defensive end in that first round and trade next year's first round pick to go get that premier corner.
My nuance here is that I don't know how much AQM helps that secondary over what Crosby could.
He doesn't, and he's a free agent. You're not going to pay him $15 million.
I'm not trying to compare that. No.
But that's what I'm saying. The route that Shep is saying, I believe, is best supported and can be supported by Max Crosby. I think if you have some young, drafted secondary pieces that have an absolute pit bull of a defensive line in front of you, and maybe even a Lee McNeil who is going to be hopefully back to what we remember.
Don't you think he's the center point of that trade, though?
Who, Elaine?
To make the contracts have to match out.
That's the name that I think that we all brought up on First to the Whistle in terms of which one seems most likely. That's why when I heard Terrion's name, I'm like, whoa, because if it's pausing the trade, then that's putting him in there. I never even thought he'd be enough.
If I said to you, you could draft a guy who's going to give you at least 11 sacks a season, would you take it? At least 11.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's what Max Crosby averages. He averages 11 sacks per year. And he's had better years than that, but he's also been hurt and hasn't been able to get that. Whether he wants to play for the Lions or not is moot to me. I want production, okay? Yeah. He is a productive player. He doesn't come off the field. And if I got to get rid of Terrion Arnold, who is only starting for me by default.
Load him into the T-shirt cannon.
What difference does that make?
I think that the way that they do business is that they're not willing to make this kind of move until the dust is settled in Florida.
I think you're right about that, Anson. The problem is, what have we said since they since they didn't make the playoffs last year? What did we say? They've got to change the way they do things. This would be a change of way they do things, all right? They have not been able to address this through the draft, unless you want Hassanin, who says, I'll die on the field for Dan Campbell. They have not been able to do it with the cornerback spot, unless you want to count Enos Rakestraw and Terrion Arnold, and I don't think either one of us do. So if they're going to go out and sign Cade Mays as a center, and they trade for Max Crosby, 2 first-round picks in Terrion Arnold, or somebody else, and they're able to address this in the draft, why would we be against it?
Sign me up for that.
It's not about being against it. It's about taking care of things in order as they come up for your business. And the fact is, they've got a couple of weeks to figure out what's going on with Terrion. The fact that they're this deep in negotiations with the Raiders, the fact that Max Crosby has made it very clear he wants to go to Detroit if he's traded, I think that the Lions have probably said, hey, we need a couple of weeks to figure out what's going on with Terrion, and we'll come back to this. I don't think that this scraps the trade.
Like we need to just know what we have.
We got to put this fire in the bathroom out before we start in the kitchen, Kool-Aid. Even if we did it just a couple years ago.
All right, so just out of curiosity, what would your first round pick be? I mean, based on your conversation, it sounds like you want a corner.
No, you're not hearing me, Shep. I want to find out what's going on with Terrion first. And then I want to go trade for Max Crosby.
I just want to trade for Max Crosby.
Yeah, I want to trade for Max Crosby.
So you don't have a problem with that package?
I don't have a problem with them pausing right now to figure out what's going on with their CB1 on paper.
I see. Understood. Okay, that's a better explanation. My issue would, I don't want Chicago or somebody else to get in that mix first and foremost.
You can't wait a month.
Second of all,
but they got a week or two.
Yeah. So I don't even know that, but you're right. You can't wait a month. The other thing is, I'd like to, and we're never going to know this, I'd like to know the reference point in which Terrion Arnold is associated with this trade, if at all. If it's just 2 firsts for Max Crosby, that's a done deal. I think all of us would do that right now and then walk down the street and salute Brad Holmes.
I think it's the 2 with Aleem, and I still think that we'd all be on board with that.
Okay.
So I don't believe that.
I don't know where Aleem comes from because it hasn't been mentioned.
The money.
Okay. So if it is, why does this put a halt to that?
Do I have to say it a 4th time?
Yes,
because
you do.
your fucking bathroom's on fire right now.
I don't care about your house reference. It makes no sense.
Whatever reference. No, it does make sense.
you're
It's
telling
a business,
so
Shep.
so you're
you
telling me-
can't have something blowing up over here and be like, hey, we'll just ignore that and make some moves over here.
Oh, I see.
They have to
Okay.
figure out what's going on there.
What if
and
it's
that's
a legal
what they've chosen to do?
So if it's a legal process and it's going to take a month, because you keep talking about the goddamn bathroom, it's going to take a month to figure this out, you're fine by that. He doesn't get through the courts until about a month or so, but you know what? We couldn't make the trade for Max Crosby, even though he's not part of it, because our bathroom's on fire. That makes no frickin' sense.
To you.
Doesn't make any sense. You can make a trade for
To you.
for a premier
Doesn't make
player.
sense to you.
You can make a trade
It makes
for
sense
a pre-
to
for a
people that run a
premier
business.
player.
You don't go and take big moves in a business when you have another problem with your business. And this isn't like
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I definitely.
Everybody does.
You-
Not
so you
everything
just-
is clean.
So you just ignore a problem, you don't take care of it, and then you go and spend money elsewhere?
Who said I wouldn't take care of it? I'm just saying you still have to deal with the problem either way of a defensive end and a corner.
And this problem is causing so many issues for them that they've put this pause on trade, or this trade on pause. I don't believe that Terrion Arnold was part of it. I believe that this is an organization taking care of things in-house before they bring
let
in
me
Max
ask you this,
Crosby.
though, Anson.
Do you think you want to bring in Max Crosby and then have him find out what's going on with Terrion Arnold after the fact?
I don't think Crosby cares.
What does he care? He just wants to get the hell out of the Raiders.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of fan talk
Be in the
right
backyard
now
of
about
the school
how
he
bad
gave a
you
lot of
guys
money to.
want him, and the fact is this business, who was just rated by their players as being an A business, is taking their time to do their due diligence and find out what is going on, because there's obviously more than just smoke.
But what
here.
would you do though if you were in this position? Would you
I'd
take
figure
that
out
approach?
what the hell's going on down there.
So
Yes.
someone is handing you effectively Max Crosby for a deal that all of us say, if this never happened, all of us will say, do that in a heartbeat. Do you understand how crazy it is that we all thought this was fake and a pipe dream?
Correct.
And that the way it became known that it's real is through this report? It's wild to me because now I'm sitting here like, are you
So
kidding
that
me?
should tell you even more.
I would have done it.
That should tell you
acting
even
like,
more.
You're acting like a company can't walk and chew gum at
No,
the
wait a
same
second.
time.
I would do
He
it.
just said it. This has been secret, okay? And now this Terrion
we've
thing
heard
blew it up
rumblings.
so much that we're being told. You think it's not that serious that they can
didn't-
just
I didn't
shove
say
it off
serious,
to?
but I
No,
didn't
no,
say-
you are. You're saying
No.
we could just push it to the side
not
and go
what I
and make
said.
this trade
No, that's
for
not-
Max Crosby.
me
That
ask
is
the
exactly
chat,
what you
man.
said.
No,
I
it's
gotta ask
not.
the chat
It
what
is
they
not
do.
exactly. I didn't say push it to the side.
You
What I
did.
said, no, what I said is you can do two things at the same
But
time.
well,
that is not
but
pushing
they're
it to
not
the
willing
side.
to do two things at the same time, Shep.
So let me ask
It's
you
very
this.
clear.
Do you think any team
They told the
in
world.
professional sports, when they have some type of disruption, some type of problem, everything gets put on hold? Hold on.
Fuck
time
yeah.
out.
Fuck yeah, it does.
You could not be more wrong.
Okay,
You
well,
are
you
completely
know everything,
out to
Shep.
lunch.
I know
Well,
that.
I know more
I
than
know
you
that.
do in this case. I can
Clearly.
guarantee you that.
Clearly.
There's no doubt about
Clearly.
that. There is
Okay.
no doubt
and yet,
about that.
and yet the Lions disagree with you. The people that run our franchise say cap.
No,
So keep telling me. Keep telling me all
You're
about
sitting
it.
here telling me this has got to be resolved before they could trade for Max
I'm
Crosby.
telling you that
and
they
I'm
have
telling you
made
it
the
doesn't do that.
decision to pause the trade until they have more clarification on this. So much to the point where a secret trade has been discussed and divulged to the fan base. So yes,
Look,
I think that
Chad is a lie.
the franchise has decided that this takes precedence. Period.
The chat is a lot. Look,
Cool, what
Dante151 $9.99 super chat.
$9.99.
He says, "I'm sorry if the Lions don't do this trade like this. The Lions being scared of making a big trade like a Max Crosby, then you're not a serious organization. Who hasn't been to the Super Bowl at all. He wants them to do this deal
He wants it
ASAP.
today.
I want it
And all
today.
you guys want
Dante
it today, and
speaks
none
for
of
me.
You guys are willing to let a business do business things for a couple of weeks. And the fact is this Terrion thing is so big that they decided to tell us they were about to trade for Max.
But do you at least understand where the hype comes from? Think about it. For 2 years, fans have said,
Dude,
this
I've been
is what we
dealing
want.
with you guys
and the Lions have squashed it. That is even
fantasy
a
trades that
possibility.
you guys have been playing in here. I got to deal with Maz for a whole damn year talking about who we're going to trade for. Let's give up our next 3 years. No, this is what you guys
Poor
all
Maz.
want. You guys all want to go and
I
get
see.
Giannis. You guys want to go and
now
get
they're-
Max. Every single team you want to trade the whole future
Hold on,
for.
wait.
And I get that. That's the
But the
fan
Giannis
talk.
stuff was
But
never
the
proven real.
business just
This one
spoke
just got
louder than
proven
any
real.
fan.
That's the
The
difference.
business
That
is
is the
speaking
difference.
loud.
That
Now
is the
I'm like,
difference.
wait. If
That
we
is
got
the
it in the
difference.
shopping cart, just check out.
Yeah.
Check out real quick.
Yeah.
If we need the toilet paper and we got to go back and get that later, we can get that later. But
You
for
think-
Max
you
Brown-
That's probably the
think
wrong.
that's-
That's
it's
probably the
that
wrong
simple.
item.
You think
that
it's-
might be the wrong item. You got to go back and get.
Honestly, it's a lot of fans talking about how bad you want Max. I've said I would do this trade.
The
I would
fans,
love to have him here.
96%
This is a
say yes.
business this is a franchise doing business right now. We don't know what is happening with Terrion Arnold, but it is clear that it's so big that the team has broken off trade and told their fan base about it. So you can't sleep on that. You don't like it? I get it. But those are facts. Those are business facts.
What I'm saying is that teams all the time in every sport have to deal with a lot of issues, but also continue to do business. You can
Oh, well,
do
let me hit you with the chef.
Okay, hold on.
Give
I
me
just
an
like to talk for 5 minutes.
Give me
Hold
an
on a second.
example.
Okay,
You do that. You cut me off all the time and say, "Give me an example." So give me one, chef. Give me an example of somebody's house burning down, having a major problem, and they made a trade right in the middle of it.
Well, when the Tigers had a problem with Jose Iglesias and a number of players within the clubhouse, they took care of that, but still went on with their business.
You mean playing
okay?
baseball, or did they make a big trade and go out and
Well,
do
if you're
something?
looking for specifics, I'm talking about doing.
Oh, you don't like it when I give it to you back, huh? Because you do that shit to me all the time.
Dude, what are you talking
In
about?
the middle
if
of
you would
me-
let somebody finish, then you might understand.
Okay.
You're talking about specifics making trade. What I said is you continue to do business. I didn't say you make trades automatically. I said you can still do business despite having
I don't
fires
think they
to
shut
put out.
down. They didn't shut down Allen Park. The business we're talking about is making a trade.
You're making it sound like it's compartmentalizing. You do one thing at a time, and that's not the way it works in business, and it sure as hell isn't the way it works in sports.
Actually, no, you're paraphrasing me. I said that they have a problem and that they have to take care of this problem before they're willing to go and trade their next 2 first-round picks. And those are the facts, Shep. They have decided to notify their fan base that they've broken off trade talks to take care of Terrion first.
Is DJ Reed still he's still under contract?
Yes,
Because Randall Small
he's due to make about $17 million.
17, yeah. $2 super chat. What if Reed is part of the deal? Then we're out 2 quarterbacks. So I wonder is it DJ Reed that could have been a part of it, and now that TA might be gone, maybe they're
But Anson brought up he brought up the D tackle, Aleem McNeil. I mean, from a financial standpoint, Aleem McNeil makes a lot more than DJ Reed. DJ Reed's a $17 million hit, I believe. Aleem McNeil, I think, is somewhere in the neighborhood of $28 million. So I don't know if that works. So it could be. I'm not saying it's the wrong decision or a wrong speculation on Randall Smalls. I'm just saying it doesn't work financially as well as Aleem McNeil. Or somebody of that ilk,
man.
Somebody of that ilk. So my problem, this goes back to, this has nothing to do with me wanting Max Crosby. This has everything to do with addressing a need with a top-notch player at the right time. That's what I'm talking about. We have complained universally that Brad Holmes drafts Freddie Felt and then lets him marinate and then promotes him and then gives him a contract. And instead of doing that, now he's going to do, how many trades has he made? How many trades has Brad Holmes actually made as the Lions general manager?
For draft picks or actual players?
For players.
Not many.
Okay, not many. How many free agents has he signed that you can, and I'm not
That
talking
I've been
about
excited
depth.
about?
Yeah, that you're excited about.
I mean, CD Deuce.
Okay.
That was pretty exciting.
David Montgomery?
Sure.
Kevin Zeitler? Excited me,
time.
probably.
Not at the time.
It excited
In
me.
hindsight.
Okay, and then
A couple corners.
but not big name or not starters,
Nope.
right?
Well, the corners were signed as starters, but that's it.
Okay. Yeah, Carlton Davis.
Carlton was.
That would be
Carlton
it.
Yeah,
and
that was
Reed.
a fire one.
And
Okay.
Reed.
But Reed was a free agent. DJ Reed's a free agent. Okay? That wasn't a trade. So if we're looking at trades,
Oh,
if
I
we're
think you
look-
were just talking about signings.
yeah, then I said trades.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're looking at free agents, okay, we get it. It's Montgomery, right? It's Zeitler. It's DJ Reed. It's trades. It's who? Carlton Davis, and let me know, right? So we think the Lions have to do some things differently. This is a way of them doing things differently. To your credit and to your point, you want to do it.
Oh, hell
You
yeah.
just want to wait.
No,
My fear is...
I'd rather not wait, but there's something
But-
so serious with Terrion that it's forced them to.
My fear is that you get into a situation where somebody else comes in, hello, Jalen Phillips, scoops
Oh,
him
hell
up
yeah.
and says, now we've got our guy.
I
And
mean,
then you're left at the
I
altar.
would imagine that they have some sort of, some agreement in place that they'll circle back. That if they get a strong bid from somebody else, a strong offer, that they're going to come back to the Lions. I don't think that the Lions are out. I think that they've paused.
If they have to give up Terrion Arnold, and that means they've lost their quote-unquote number one corner, I don't care. And here's the reason. You're getting a top 5 guy at one position. You're losing what some would consider maybe a low 20 to 30 guy at his position.
Shep is being nice today.
Yeah, that's being nice. That's being very nice. You're also getting a guy who's been injured in each of the last 2 years for a guy who is generally steady and willing to play. And he'll play more snaps than the other guy.
Hey, Anson, you know whose kitchen isn't on fire? Buddy's Pizza, a Detroit original since 1946. Home of the Foursquare. I don't have the read with me.
You're killing it.
It's
You're
Detroit's
killing it.
original style pizza. Grateful be to the home farm favorite for sure. A menu packed with award-winning pizza, signature salads, home-style pastas. We could eat all of those right now from Buddy's. I wish they were right there on that table. They're not. But if you want some, go to buddyspizza.com. Freddie, that's a big-time assist, similar to what Lucas Royman did last night for Dylan Larkin, not once but twice.
Dylan Larkin continues
I just hit
to
an
shine.
alley-oop to Shep. I'm good. I can walk off now.
That was real solid.
Oh, that was good. Jeremy Fears to Cohen Carr. That wouldn't be a bad one either.
Like that.
We talking more assists like Dr. Pierce assists?
Let's talk it.
Yeah, we talked to him yesterday.
That's right. He's in on Tuesdays with Big D Energy. He's on Thursdays here on the Braylon Edwards Show. And we are talking about none other than Dr. Jeff Pierce of the Michigan Sports and Spine. He's got injury insights, and he's trusted by the biggest guys in the game. He's trusted by our very own DMAC and Braylon Edwards as well. He's here to help you stay in the game and perform at your best. See the info up there. Give him a call, 248-426-9944, or just scan that QR code you see above my head.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole, again. ThenFights.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill sub-zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill sub-zero.
It's game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
You guys looking for some dinner plans with that sizzle?
Yes.
You need a big black rock in your life, guys. Home of the steak on the stone. Treat yourself on Tuesdays with their Tasty
Broccolini.
Tuesday special. $13.99. Is that right? Like 10 years ago prices.
Crazy.
Just $13.99. You
Get
can
there,
feast on
people.
a half pound of ribs, coconut shrimp, and fries. That's impressive.
Plus, that beer looks good.
Hey, another great time to drink a beer.
Yes.
Then you start your weekend early with those sizzling Thursdays. You'll get a 6-ounce sirloin, shrimp scampi, your choice of super salad, and a side. That's only for $19.99. It's not just a meal, it is an experience. Check them out over at blackrockrestaurants.com or visit one in an area near you: Heartland, Novi, Ann Arbor, Davison, Sault Ste. Marie, Portage, and Utica.
And what would be the soup? If you said soup instead of salad, what would be the soup? Chicken rice? That sounds good. You know what else sounds good? A really good haircut. Cam got one the other day, but he's hiding it under his sweet potato hat.
It is a sweet potato hat, isn't it?
You got a Lady Jane's, that's the place to come, right? I mean, if you definitely want to look your best, you walk in, you sign in, and before you know it, you are looking your best, handsome and clean, leaving Lady Jane's 28 locations throughout this great state. It's open 10 till 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
Hey, we are back, chat family. Y'all got active in that last segment. We got the poll up. Would you still trade for Max Crosby before the Terrion Arnold issues are resolved? And at first, it was 96%.
I was going to say, it's going to stay high up there, bro.
It's going to stay high, but it's dropped down to 82%. Now, almost nearly 20% of the chat is saying that they wouldn't. And some of the comments from the chat, TA has more pass interferences than Crosby has sacks. He can go. Let me see. Any DB not named Davis has been mid at best here. Correct. I would keep business moving. That's from JOB. Let me see here. TT says for 5 years they let people pass on them. There's a lot of people in this chat that just want Max Crosby.
Oh, of course. Yeah. But that hasn't changed for a year.
They would let the business. They want the business to resume. They don't.
I mean, we all do. I mean, this Terrion thing is. None of us wanted this kink. You know, this kink in the hose right now is causing problems for not just the franchise, but for the fan base at this point. I mean, this is the news that Tom Mazaway has been pleading and praying for. This is the news, the move that all of us have been wanting.
Everybody's been hoping for.
Yeah, and we've done things the right way. We've paid attention and focus to the culture of this team, and we haven't risked a lot of future capital. Now we're in that SOL window. I hate to say it, but that window is strong right now, and a Max Crosby addition really puts this team in at the top and with the cream of the crop. But man, I know everybody wants to do it. These guys have made a decision for a reason. The DJ
What should
Reed
be happening?
inclusion, that's intriguing.
It is intriguing. I give people in the chat a ton of credit. I didn't think of that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought strictly Terrion Arnold, that's it. If it's DJ Reed...
And you lose Terrion.
And you lose Terrion, then suddenly it is that double whammy.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And let's face it, cornerbacks are really hard to find.
Hell yeah.
Like, you can find wide receivers. That's why I've said, and it's not that I don't like this guy, but that's why I've said about Jamison Williams. If you're going to trade somebody, that is somebody who I think you could. He gets a lot of stuff downfield. I get all that. I understand how good he is. But if you're looking for somebody who's really good and you could recover from losing, it would be somebody like him. I would trade outside of two people on that entire defense, the Lions defense. I would trade every single one, or they would be available for me if I were the general manager, except for Jack Campbell and Aiden Hutchinson. Yep. You want to pick somebody else from the defense?
Have them.
Go right ahead.
So to
get Max Crosby.
I pulled up some who the most tradable high end or more attractive corners are in the league.
Mm-hmm.
All of them are a little bit older, 25 and up, except for one.
These are free agents?
These are guys that could be traded.
Oh, could be traded. Okay.
Christian Fulton from Kansas City, Diamador Lenore, Darius Williams, Deontay Banks, Riley Moss, and the sixth, Terrion Arnold, makes that list of the most tradable corners in the league right now. So
okay. Whose list is this?
Sport Track.
What are we referring to? Oh,
Sport Track.
Okay. I like it.
I prefer them.
Yeah, I use it. I use it quite a bit. Yeah. I mean, there are also free agents out there. I'm not saying this is the way to go because there's only so much you have. So if you're looking to get a center and then you're going to bring in Crosby and then you're saying, I got to go out there and I got to get a free agent. I mean, does that mean you re-sign Amik Robertson because he is a free agent? Remember that. Yeah. Are you going to get Trevon Diggs? What exactly are you going to do to try and get somebody like that to try and replace it? You need more than just warm bodies.
Business can't
and
stop.
Guys
even if the trade does.
And guys that are taller than 5'10" at corner, please.
You know who's available? Jeff Okudah. So,
you said it so serious. I thought he was serious.
Oh, we good. We good.
You got me.
So, unless you are going to have a situation where you're the Philadelphia Eagles from 2 years ago and you get Quinyon Mitchell in the first and Cooper DeJean in the second, even though Braylon doesn't necessarily like him, he is a Pro Bowler. Right? He is an All-Pro.
And we could have had him instead of Terrion.
That's true. Yeah.
A lot of people thought that was the pick.
I would not have been upset with the pick, but in fairness to Terrion Arnold, and I'll throw myself under the bus here, you think I act like I know everything. I was wrong about Terrion Arnold. I thought it was a good pick.
I loved the pick.
I thought he would be
fired up about it.
I thought he would be a number one corner this year. And and it had nothing to do with Alabama, but it had everything to do with when you watched him his first year, when he was playing, he was stride for stride with a lot of wide receivers. He got called for a lot of pass interference because he was handsy.
And a rookie.
Right?
And a rookie.
And a rookie. But he really was. He was very handsy, and I get it. Okay? It would be like Anson at a Playboy party. Very handsy, but those things happen, right?
I'm not the handsy guy.
Those things happen. You try to learn from them. So I thought last year, one of my predictions, we all love doing this topic, one of my predictions was Terrion Arnold is going to evolve into a number one corner, and everybody's going to recognize it. Could not have been more wrong.
I was on board with that.
So my concern, to your point about Terrion Arnold or anybody losing either one of them, is you drafting a cornerback. From what I've been told by scouts, it's the second hardest position to transition to in the National Football League. Number one is quarterback. Number two is cornerback. Thinking that a guy is just going to come in and automatically pick up where he may have left off in college is probably not the thing to bank on.
And outside of Sauce Gardner, who's had a great first year, even the drafted guys.
I think Quinyon Mitchell had a really good year.
Quinyon's good.
Well, we could go way back,
but
you understand the point.
Like Patrick Peterson came in, struggled his first few years, was very handsy, got called for a lot of pass interferences, figured it out by year 3 or 4.
Loved it.
We may not even get a third year out of Terrion.
Yeah, and that would be troubling. But as I said 2 weeks ago on this show, if Detroit's going to be better, the guys, because I thought the Crosby stuff would be a pipe dream too. If Detroit's going to be better, Terrion Arnold has to be one of those guys. He's got to be better. So this is going to be
has to be.
What if he's not even here? What if he's not even here? Because that's what it's sounding like to me. It sounds like Terrion Arnold might miss the 2026 season.
Just so we're clear, I mean, explain to people who don't know what you're referring to.
So basically, was it Jesse Smollett, the guy that kind of did that one the first time? Basically, got robbed down south. And then it sounds like there was there's two different stories that I'm hearing. One, that he might have been involved in the first robbery, or B, that he was in a robbery after the fact, retaliation.
Somebody robbed him of a lot of money, $100,000, jewelry and other things.
Part of his crew.
Part of his crew robbed him.
Correct.
And then
the allegations, I believe.
That's the allegations. Mm-hmm. And then the belief is that he robbed it back.
Yeah.
Or robbed
retaliated.
them.
Or that he wasn't there, but that he actually was part of the plan to send some other people to get his
That's
back.
the allegation, folks.
Correct.
We're not saying that's been brought up against him. We're saying that's the allegation. That if you're looking for the reason for this to be paused, that's the reason. Okay? This is it right here from Nolan Bianchi. And he does great work. The order has stated that the armed robbery and kidnapping were a direct result of Arnold and his friends taking matters into their own hands after Arnold's rental home was robbed not once but twice. He has not been charged or arrested, according to online court records.
Yet.
Okay? Yet. But that's an important part to bring up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? All right. So if there's somebody, let's just say this blows over. All right? Let's say we find out and this blows over quickly. I think it needs to be blown over quickly.
I hope so.
In order for them to move on this situation. Because let's face it, the Raiders want it resolved too. There's two teams working here, and the Raiders have to decide, what are we going to use the 17th overall pick for too? If they're locked in on Fernando Mendoza, and I sure wouldn't be, but if you're locked in on your Q, then you're going to have to get somebody at 17 who's going to take the place of Max Crosby. And they're going to want to find the best suitor as quickly as possible.
And you know what? It makes sense because towards the end of the season when they were trying to shut him down, he was kind of upset about that. Let that be known. He got on social media. Then out of the clear blue, he just went silent. And then the next time we saw him, it was kind of in some Raiders gear. Then we hear this report a little bit time after, about a week and a half after.
What about
it's interesting.
Two or 3 weeks ago,
he just went silent.
2 or 3 weeks ago, he was on a podcast. They asked him where he wanted to go. He said Detroit.
Correct.
Flat out.
Yep. Yeah,
well,
that's what I mean.
Remember, last week the Raiders actually came out and said they don't plan on trading him.
Yep.
In so many words.
Cap.
Oh, this is crazy.
When they come out and say they're not going to trade,
wide open.
It's kind of like when they say his job's not in risk. That means that his job is in risk, and that means that they're working on a trade.
What do they call that? The vote of confidence,
yes.
right? When ADs give coaches a vote of
You're
confidence,
in trouble.
When general managers give coaches a vote of confidence,
trouble.
There's a serious problem there.
It's like when your girl's about to break up with you and everybody knows
Here it comes again.
I was going to say, though, how interesting the situation with the Lions, because we go into the offseason believing, you know what, we got to get this offensive line together, and now we're sitting here saying, wait, do we have a secondary? Like, seriously. Guys are either on free agents or injured or in questionable issues like Terrion Arnold. Now it's like, two of the most important position groups to their success over the last few years, secondary largely because of that the safeties and offensive line.
Right, Cooley, you're not even talking about the corners. You're talking about the secondary as a whole. Their starting secondary, or what you hoped would be their starting secondary.
None of them are going to be healthy week one.
Right.
I
don't know about Brian Branch, and I don't know about DJ Reed. But we do.
Brian Branch, Achilles, and
I know, but I haven't heard that. Is my point.
Yeah.
But there's a serious issue, obviously, with Kirby Joseph, and this has got to mess with your head just a little bit, no matter what. He would be healthy enough, you would think, despite the shoulder injury.
He was the one most of us were penciling in, probably as CB1 next year.
Right.
Kool-Aid, what's a bigger concern and focus for the Lions staff right now? The defensive line or their secondary?
I got to go with the secondary.
Secondary.
I have to go secondary.
So something like this can pause what you're doing, right? Like Terrion Arnold, the guy that's penciled in.
Logically, yes.
It can
Me, no.
Business-wise. Yeah.
But here's the difference.
Illogically, no.
I'm getting
logically,
yes.
No, I don't even think logically, yes. Here's the difference. You've got a chance to get a a record-breaking, an
something different.
impactful player. I understand the whole secondary. It should be concerning to everybody. Bless you. It should be concerning to everybody. But these opportunities don't come along very often. All right? And by the way, near the end of his contract, after 2028, the cap hit isn't quite as hard. Now,
if this was Rashawn Gary that they want to trade for, I'm like, yeah, Paul. I like him, but
Pause.
I'm sure I understand why it's Paul. But Crosby,
and
you're
maybe,
right, Shep.
and you know what?
It's different.
And maybe because he's a free agent, you'd rather get the 1-year deal out of Rashawn Gary. That's fine.
Yeah.
But this isn't even Trey Hendrickson, who I like a lot. This is a younger player than Trey Hendrickson. This is as productive as a guy as Trey Hendrickson. That's what I think is the difference. It's not as much about the position, or it's about the player who plays the position. What's the great line by some of the best people who have ever handled a football team? It's not about plays, it's about players. Right? That's what this guy is. He is an absolute menace and fixes a lot of issues. It doesn't fix all the secondary. I get all that. I'm not saying you can fix it in the draft,
certainly
but it
helps
is
the
a
secondary.
massive upgrade and immediately elevates your football team in a lot of different ways.
No argument there.
Anything else, Kool-Aid, in the chat that we want to make sure we squeeze in before we are out of here on a Friday? We didn't get to the Six-Pack Friday. My apologies to Sam Adams.
Took over.
But this did take over. I mean, we could ad-lib some six-packs, but I think we've covered most of it here on our six-pack and what some of those questions may be.
Yep, and we do have a couple questions here from the chat. Super chat, $2. Randall Small says, would you do trade J-Mo straight up for Max Crosby?
Straight up?
I don't know if the Raiders would do that.
I don't think they would, but I would.
Heartbeat.
Yeah. And Dante151 with the $4.99 super chat. He says, looks like the Tigers will finally get their first spring training game win. Tigers 16, Phillies 6, bottom of the 8th. Also, in all caps, so we got to do it justice. Let's go Pistons!
You know, that's good news about the Tigers. I don't know how much it truly matters. They tied and they lost the other day. But I did see somebody reporting from Dodgers camp where they are unbeaten. They're not playing a lot of their starters. There's no Mookie Betts. There's no Freddie Freeman. There's no Shohei Ohtani. But they've outscored their opposition like 51-9, something like that.
They have a lot of really nice 4A players. Like guys that aren't good enough to be on that team, but are probably better than most other teams' prospects that are just sitting down. I mean, like Andy Pages, how long did it take him to actually get in their lineup? And then he looked awesome. So they're about as deep.
Yeah, and he's batting ninth. Andy Pius is batting ninth in that lineup.
It is Pius, huh?
What's that?
It is Pius?
It's Pius, yeah.
I
Pius,
never knew that.
Yeah.
I hate mispronouncing baseball names.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Been there, done that. It's not always easy. Try hockey.
Luis Gil, that's one of my favorite ones.
Luis Gil.
I was shocked when I heard
Gill, and it's Gil.
Yeah.
I was shocked when I found out Jenkins' name was Danis and not Danis.
Danis, yeah.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Or how about Tyler Shook, that everybody still calls Show?
Oh, for the Saints.
Yes, it's Tyler Shook.
Yeah. Anything else, Kool-Aid?
Let me see here. No more super chats, but the chat's been active. I definitely want to tell them thank you, man, for getting things going in there. And they're at 84%. Yes, they would still do the deal before the Terrion Arnold issues are resolved, Anthony.
Well, I don't think that they need to even be resolved. I mean, this might be a court case, but there's some answers that the Lions need on their behalf.
Is he playing this year or not? Whether it's resolved.
And the DJ, that's the thing. Like if they know they're going to lose him for this year, they might have to pivot, and they might have to allocate the some of the resources that they were going to give to the Raiders to the rest of their team.
We could be sitting here, think about what every year Brad Holmes has done something kind of on the eve of the draft. When everybody else is, when the draft is supposed to be getting it, he's gone out and given big contracts or done something. And I wonder if that was the deal for this year. And all of a sudden it's being reported. It
ain't over yet.
Deal is
it ain't over yet.
It's not over yet.
I just love that he was willing to do.
Yes.
If that's the report.
Yeah.
If he's willing to do that, I love that mindset. You don't
100.
do that. You don't do that for everybody. There are certain players. We all kind of have a good idea of who they are, whether it be a quarterback or a defensive end. Maybe somebody might do that for a guy like Penei Sewell, but there's not very many of them out there that you do that. You don't couple 2 first-rounders and a player who's a contributor to your team for anybody. You do it for Max Crosby. And that's why I thought it was absolutely hilarious when I heard so many people a year ago saying, well, I'd give up 3 first-rounders. No way, okay? That's not the going rate. This is the going rate. Let's hope we're talking about it next week and that the Lions are involved still. Freddie, you're headed down. Where are you going before you go to watch the Pistons beat the Cavs?
Good question.
That is a good question. I'm parked at LCA, so whatever is in walking distance. But you know what? I'll end on this. It's got to be Buddy's. Home of the Foursquare, the Detroit original since 1946.
That's what he's doing.
Real talk, though, I'm getting a Verner's and probably a Foursquare at Buddy's. I got to do it. Not just because they're a sponsor. But
I wish we had them here today for you. That way we could save some money.
Thank you, as always, for your hospitality.
Love you,
Shep.
man.
I appreciate it. Thanks,
Yeah.
everyone at Woodward, for really making me feel part of the family. I appreciate you guys.
Well, you are 5+ years, man.
You are part of the family.
Appreciate
you can
you.
have a Sam Adams cherry wheat to go. We're going to go. We invite you back next week, Monday, 2 o'clock. Braylon Edwards Show. He'll be with us.
Shout out
Anson,
to Bray.
great to have you, my man. Thank you for being here. Have a great
Are you
weekend.
sure about that?
Cool. Absolutely, I'm sure about it. Dude,
We've
come on.
been at it today.
So what?
That's what we
I'm
do.
not a, dude, I'm
That's
not a
what we do.
snowflake. Take it easy. Kool-Aid, what do you got tonight?
Hey, you know what? I'm going to drop by LCA to say what up to some people before I go back and get a family activity started for Sabbath. But,
And then some Lions or Pistons post game too.
Not tonight.
Not tonight. Okay.
Yeah, not
Okay.
tonight.
And
Pistons game
I was just
all
saying,
night.
sweet
Yeah,
potato
good
camp.
food.
You're just
Pistons
sitting
game.
back watching Pistons all night
Yep,
long.
gonna have one of my good friends. Shout out Carl Bob coming over. We're gonna watch the game together.
Carl. Every time I hear Carl, I think of Caddyshack. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great week.
Shout out Chef and Hanson.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.